between 25 to 30%. Even so, in practical terms, households and industries are worse off because they are paying more on electricity and it is biting them very hard. Though on paper, the electricity tariffs have increased by this 25 to 30%. In reality, households are paying more than 100% in terms of tariff hikes. Because if previously an individual will buy 1,000 Ghana cedi electricity for a month, now that 1,000 Ghana cedi can only last for a week, if not less. We are all suffering from this, and the president cannot come to parliament and tell us that they met some energy sector debts. What we are even experiencing is that doomsday is back. Doomsday is back. Apart from this, we also note that the president was again interested in bureaucracy and nothing about actual jobs created. The NDC has been in office for over a year now. They promised a 24-hour economy, 1 job, 3 shifts. The president could not tell the people of Ghana as to whether or not the government has been able to implement this 24-hour economy. What we rather know is that since this government came into office, thousands of Ghanaian youth who were already employed were dismissed from the employ of state-owned institutions. Some who have been in employment since 2017, 18, 19, and all were all sacked. The 24-hour economy is yet to see the light of day. In fact, one incentive that would have promoted this 24-hour economy is cheaper electricity. So if government is making electricity expensive to consume, to use, how does the government attract investment? In fact, the 1D, 1F policy, since it was cancelled, there hasn't been an alternative policy to drive economic growth. The Ministry of Trade has not announced any policy alternative to boost economic growth through job creation, through more businesses. There is no incentive for the private sector. So I repeat that this government is only fixated on PR rather than serious governance that will create jobs. Galamsey. Today we heard another rhetoric from His Excellency the President that they are fishing for the godfathers of galamsey. Like seriously, you've been in government for a year. You are now looking for the kingpins of galamsey. I would want, on behalf of the minority caucus, state unequivocally that this government is not interested in fighting galamsey. In fact, the Gold Board that they've established, practically what Gold Board is doing is to promote galamsey, because Gold Board has not brought up any regulation, any blueprint that directs its aggregators to buy genuine gold regularly mined from licensed miners. For them, it's a free-for-all, and there is no directive on this. Government is not making any serious effort at fighting galamsey. So we don't take government serious when it comes to galamsey issues. Now, Mr. President talks about inflation having coming down. And inflation, are we going to eat inflation? What is inflation on paper when it has no effect in the pocket of the ordinary Ghanaian? If the president is talking about macroeconomic stability, you can achieve stability on paper for the IMF and the World Bank. But the real stability is when the Ghanaian people go to the market and experience lower prices on foodstuffs. But when they are complaining, you cannot use paper inflation to claim credit and ask us to applaud you. We will not applaud the government. We are not interested in the paper inflation. That is paper success. Practically, they have failed. They have given haircut to cocoa farmers, thousands of jobs lost, electricity tariffs have increased astronomically, cost of living keeps rising within just a year. So if Mr. President says that they are in a take-off mood and is advising Ghanaians to tighten their belt, fasten their seat belts, we understand. So he's telling us that we should expect more hardship. We see that in today's submission by Mr. President, especially on the aspect of the economy that talks about strengthening the city, he was clear with the facts, and those facts we do not disagree with him. He says that there has been stabilization measures, but we know that these stabilization measures did not just fall from the sky. The gold for forex and the gold for reserves, these were strategic decisions that were and remain the brainchild of our flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. The gold buffers that provided confidence, the framework that steadied the currency, and the foundation that made today's stability possible were already in place before 2025. In 2024, let me give some numbers. GDP had crossed 1 trillion cedis for the first time, and growth stood at 5.7%. In their time, growth is hovering around 4%. Over 30 tons of gold had been accumulated, and by the way, they have depleted the gold they came to meet. The 30 tons of gold that we accumulated, they have sold all the gold in the name of diversification. How do you diversify when the gold prices are at all times high? How do you say you are diversifying by selling your gold for cash when there is a time to keep your gold? Again, policy inconsistency. That notwithstanding, we think that instead of the president taking credit for it, he should give the credit to Dr. Bawumia. What belongs to Bawumia must be given to him. You cannot criticize an individual on a campaign platform only to assume the reins of government and implement the policy that you criticize. Today, agriculture has been abandoned. I am looking for Honorable Eric Opoku. I can't find him. He was such a loud voice on agriculture. And I respect him for the great debates he had on the floor. But where is Eric Opoku's voice today? His ministry has been rendered a good-for-nothing ministry. Look into the budget. Nothing was given to the ministry. Government has done nothing to promote agriculture. Production has not increased. All the numbers that they are parading are as a result of the gold board monopolization of the gold trade, and then the gold for forex initiative that we introduced. By the way, according to the IMF, as at end 2025, the losses incurred by Gold Board and Bank of Ghana had increased to over 7 billion cedis. We, the minority, hereby say that these 7 billion cedis could have done our roads, constructed hospitals, created opportunities in the private sector for the many Ghanaian youth who are unemployed, and in fact, it could have been enough to establish the women banking that they promised in opposition that they have failed. On Monday, we are going to bring to the attention of the country our comprehensive submission on the true state of the economy, on the true state of the nation. But for now, we conclude by saying that this government is only fixated on PR gimmicks and is only interested in political rhetorics rather than real action and creating opportunity for all Ghanaians. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah. And to the cocoa farmers, we stand with Ghanaian cocoa farmers. I repeat, we stand with Ghanaian cocoa farmers. We, the minority, we stand with Ghanaian cocoa farmers. Thank you very much.
That was the leadership of the minority in Parliament reacting to President Mahama's address on the state of the nation. Keep watching Channel 1 Television.
Hello, very good evening to you. Welcome to What the Papers Are Saying. My name is Selom Adunu. On What the Papers Are Saying, we bring to you the headlines the newspapers have put out. We analyze the headlines and provide you some insight and leave you better informed than you joined in. Tonight on the show, as always, we will bring you some of the most topical headlines for the week. We have 4 of them this evening. We will go through them, analyze them, and provide you some insights. I'll take a short break. When I return, I will introduce my topics, show you what the headlines have said in the week and are still saying, introduce my guests, and then we'll get a discussion underway. This is What the Papers Are Saying. We'll be right back.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from City FM.
And it's proudly sponsored by Holland Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, Didi Shito, Goyle, Minimi Achumo, Admi Granite Paste, and the Ghana Tourism